how OCniverse cards are made using an example of a card that I made. So I'm going to start right over here in this little corner. First thing you see is the HP bar. This tells you how much health a certain character has. You start the game at the top, and as you go through, your character may start lowering down this HP bar. And of course, when you hit 0, you die. Well, or get defeated. This depends on how you want to explain it. The cards come with a little slider that we can slide up and down for when your HP goes up and down, rather than a game like Pokemon or whatever, where you're given little marble-like things. The next part of the card is the artist of the card. I mean, not the artist, the owner of this OC. This is Nova Dreamer 64. This character is her character, Mira Osibian. The artist has a different location, which is down here, which you can see my name right there, MonnieBiloney versus Nova's. A lot of these cards in OCniverse has the same creator as artists. I think I'm the only one that decided to do this since I'm the creator, because I wanted to be an example of what a card would look like if an artist who is not the owner of the OC drew the card. The next part right here in the corner is what kind of card it is. For example, the character cards have 4 different types they can be. Types are kind of like types in Pokemon, how there's like fire, earth, water, things like that. Over here, one of our types is called Misfit, which is this purple color. This means it doesn't fit. The types are kind of decided based on what the characters look like. Our characters are humanoid, feral, machine, and misfit. And with humanoid, we kind of added an extra thing. Not only does it have to be physically humanoid, it also should have like more similar in color, basically to help us fill up the other categories. So for Mira, you can see that her skin, normal people don't have their skin cut directly in half like that. So that's why she's underneath the other category rather than the humanoid category. After that, we have the move skill. This is used during the battle combat of the game. Most characters will have a skill that has no payment. Basically, on your turn, you can just use this skill straight out of the box. And it does this amount of damage to your opponent. So every opponent has 16 HP. You use Slam, and that means the opponent now has 15 HP. Most cards will also have a skill that takes points. Just like in Pokemon, you have to put down energy cards, right? To make the skill be able to work. Otherwise, you can't use them. And here, it's not energy cards, like specifically. Instead, it's item cards. Almost kind of combining the idea of energy and trainer cards. Basically, every single trainer card has its own color. So you have to use Misfit type energy cards in order to pay for the move Repel. These special moves may or may not have a move that causes damage. This is different for each character, just really depending on what kind of character it is. This is the really fun thing about OCniverse, is that the level of creativity is immense. So for this character, her very cool thing is that she had this magnet that allows her to kind of make it that it affects the pulls of anything, basically. So I thought it'd be really fun to use that rather than as a combat mechanic, as a way for her to just end battle, basically. To send an opponent in a different direction. And if you wanted to battle, you have the slam. She slams into you using her magnet to throw her toward you. And also you can use item cards as well as ways to do damage, as quite a few item cards will have some kind of stat for it. Either something you can equip that can increase your attack move, or a one-time spend item that might do something as well. So after that, we have, as I mentioned before, the artist. And over here in this corner, not sure if you noticed it or not, but this is a QR code. This means that you could scan this on your phone and it'll bring you to a link. The link it'll give you to is the link that belongs to the artist of this card, not the owner of the card, not the creator of the OC. So if you scan this QR code, it'll bring you to my website. This is like my ideas how this would work really well in order to act as a kind of like portfolio for an artist, as rather than giving someone a business card, you could give them this type of trading card. And then lastly, the thing on the card is weakness. The Misfits group weakness works a little bit more complicated than the other weaknesses, being that the weakness is going to be a physical observation of something. So this right here, this character's weakness is needles. So if another character has needles on their person, or you go to a world card that has a bunch of needles in the background for some reason, or if you see an item that someone has equipped that has needles on it, that means that that character does more damage to Mirai. So if you saw a needle character attacking Mira, and let's say they had the same slam move, then rather than doing 1 damage, it would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually 6 when you add the 1 to it. So it would do 6 damage to the character. Actually the 11 was right. That's how much damage to do. And just so much damage because I felt like needle as a observation was a very rare observation. Some observations will be a lot more common, like fire, for which I made the weakness only 1. So even though you might be able to know what the weakness is, how much the weakness like points it does is actually different for different cards, depending on basically game balance. So some characters might have more HP than other characters, and thus their weakness tends to be a little bit stronger than others. Or for misfit cards, it depends on the rarity of the observation you are making. The more common an observation is, the more like the lower, like more like 1, -1, rather than like -4. And that is an explanation for how the OCniverse cards are basically organized.